Pat. I'm the founder and president of CabinetParts.com, and recently we discovered this old video of the early days of Cabinet Parts when we were on this television show, and it was kind of fun, so we thought we'd edit it and put it up on YouTube, and you guys can take a look at it. And if you get some inspiration from it, which I certainly did, good. So it was back in the mid-90s when the dot-com bubble was going on, and I had started this little company, Cabinet Parts, and I'd spent 2 years of my life working it. And you know, it was kind of near the end of the road because it was just, that's what it was. So I saw this TV show, and it said, send in a 100-word essay and you too could be on this money hunt. So I did, and they invited me to be on the show, and this is the video from it. It was pretty cool. It was a bunch of entrepreneurs pitching their dreams and their plans, and that's what I did, and I won, and it kind of validated me. So it's cool. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's short, which is good, and just remember there are such things as one-armed paper hangers. Thanks.
Business plan calls for $3 million for marketing.
Plan calls for $2 million.
Only 2 will make our show, and only 1 will win time with our Money Hunt mentor. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Money Hunt, the one place entrepreneurs have a shot to prove they've got a great idea, a good plan, and the passion to grow a business. It's not so easy. We're going to find out who's got what it takes. I'm Miles Spencer. Let's play Money Hunt.
Hi, I'm Cliff Enico. We scour the country looking for America's hottest new companies, and we bring 2 of them on this set to defend their lives in front of America's toughest panel of business critics. Sometimes we like what we hear, and sometimes we don't. At the end, one of our guests is going to get some free help and advice from our Money Hunt mentor.
And today, that's Bob Kaufman from Bob's Discount Furniture, one of the fastest growing furniture chains in the United States. Bob, welcome to Money Hunt.
It's my pleasure.
We're going to see a couple of companies in the retail and housewares industry today. What are you looking for from entrepreneurs in that space?
Well, marketing plan, how are they going to get the bodies into their store, the dollars spent in their companies, competition, how are they going to handle the competition? Both of them have formidable competitors existing already in the marketplace, and passion, how are they going to make it happen?
Let's see how they
Sounds like a no-brainer, Bob. Our next guest is Patton Abbe of CabinetParts.com, and he's backstage right now with Money Hunt's Monica Wright.
Thanks, Cliff. Welcome to Money Hunt, Pat.
Hi, Monica.
Your business plan calls for $3 million.
Yes, it does.
What is the strongest part of your business
I
plan?
would say the strongest part is the name branding of the company.
That's great. Pat, the door's opening. Good luck with your pitch on Money Hunt.
Thank you.
Okay, CabinetParts.com from Deerfield Beach, Florida, is a web-based portal for cabinet hardware with 2/3 of its sales to consumers and 1/3 to business customers. Yeah. Patton, welcome to Money Hunt.
Welcome.
You got a great show today. Miles and I have just finished kitchen remodelings. So we got
you got the guy.
We wish we'd known you were there.
We're the go-to.
Where'd you get the idea for this business?
It started, I was in the cabinet manufacturing business for years, and all my customers would always ask me, where can I get this hinge, where can I get this drawer slide, because pretty much everything we sell is OEM.
OEM meaning?
For the manufacturer, or for the actual, you know, the maker of the cabinets. So
Why'd
they're
you
not.
decide to put it on the web?
Well, in '94, I kind of had an epiphany with when the internet came, and it all made sense. And so, by luck, I waited till '97 to start it.
And capitalizing on the PETA factor, because it's so much easier to do on the web. I understand you brought a computer presentation.
Yes, I did.
Why don't you cue that up and show us what we're seeing in the screen?
Okay. Basically, this is our web page, and we have 3 catalogs that we use for ordering certain, different materials: hinges, drawer slides, and laminates.
Patton, I have no clue how many manufacturers there are, but do you work with multiple manufacturers at this point?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We work through distributors. We have 3 main distributors that we work with, and they represent probably 95% of all the manufacturers.
So you've got 95% of all the cabinet hardware manufacturers on the web.
We do a lot of custom quotes. We have a locator form that's kind of our bread and butter, where people will send in, they're looking for this type of product,
Yeah.
and we find
How much
for
of it
them.
is do-it-yourselfer versus contractors? I would just imagine the contractors would be your biggest market.
It's growing. It started out as a do-it-yourselfer, but now it's getting more into the
That's
contractor.
the repeat business and the
Yeah,
higher
and that's-
ticket as
absolutely,
well.
that's what we're
Buying
going.
through a distributor, you're paying a longer price. How are you in the marketplace in terms of pricing it to a mass merchant that might be out there locally?
I think if we get into a high level, we can't compete because they can probably almost go either to the distributor or actually to the manufacturer themselves. We have worked out arrangements with the distributors for a great margin for them because we increase their business and we don't cut into their market share.
I mentioned earlier the PETA factor, that, you know, when we did our kitchen, we had a specific type of knob
Right.
that matched perfectly. When we went and redid another room, we wanted to match that knob.
couldn't.
It wasn't available anymore. Someone had to go find a book. We looked at the book. We got it. It didn't work. Now, I've got to imagine that even though you solve some of those problems, you still have a tremendous amount of updating to do to continue to keep your offerings current. Is that a major challenge
Well,
for
it's
you?
something like, it is, but it's always a growth that once it's there on the internet, once it's in the database, it's there. You know, it doesn't change. You can just add to it and still maintain the old database. In your case, you would send us your old knob and we would tell you this is what it is.
Send it by scanning it, taking a photo
No,
of
actually
it?
physically send it to us. We have a whole department that handles people sending
Let's
product.
talk about that. Shipping and distribution is the biggest headache, I think, for any internet
Absolutely.
business. You obviously don't maintain inventory of this stuff.
Don't they want it
when
like
people
today?
We have 24-hour delivery on just about everything that we sell.
Is that because your suppliers are so
Because
local to you?
yeah, they're local to us. They deliver to us on a daily basis. We're in a big metropolitan area. It's tailor-made for what we do. We order
So-
today, you order it today, you'll get it shipped tomorrow.
So are you national right now, or are you just regional?
We're
Oh,
worldwide.
you're all over the
all over
place.
the world.
How are you
Cabinets
getting-
are not part of your...
Cabinets are not part of it at this point. We certainly foresee that. I think the big direction we're going now is more in the decorative, which is a huge, huge high-end market.
Patton, talk to me about advertising and promotion. How are you getting the word out? How are you getting the eyeballs to your site?
My forte back in '94 was learning how the search engines work, and I can make your name come up #1 on the search engines, and my customers find us through the search engines, and that's it at this point. This is why we're here now. I'm trying to raise capital so we can go into more traditional advertising,
Have you done
which
any
is expensive.
demographic work in terms of, are the people that are buying cabinet hardware also on the internet today using it, or is that something that's yet to be adopted by that group?
It keeps growing. I mean,
They weren't the early adopters.
No, they weren't. But our demographics are the whole north part of America, Northern California, like Michigan, any place that doesn't have access to Home Depot, which really isn't a competitor.
Let's talk about that, because you mentioned 3 competitors in your business plan, but Home Depot is not one
No,
of them.
they're not.
What's keeping them out of this space?
Ours is too specialized of a industry, especially the European hardware. There's too many variations of the same theme. It's very, very
Can't
difficult.
stock it.
You
Too many
can't.
Is there any
SKUs.
international business for you right now?
Yes, Australia and England, for some unknown reason. Not huge because, again, you get into a shipping problem.
Patton, your business plan calls for some capital, $3.1 million. What are you going to use it for?
Primarily, we're going to go into marketing, heavy marketing, and we need to hire a marketing director
Yeah, I
to do
should
that.
say, I looked at the business plan, and one of the things that basically wasn't there was anyone in marketing or affiliate relations,
Absolutely.
and that's going to become a key for you, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, we've identified that we don't have a strength in that, and that's what we have to have. I mean,
Now, have you outsourced all the web design and the development stuff, or are you still doing that yourself?
I'm still doing it myself at this point. I have one assistant who I'm bringing along, but it's my baby.
And interestingly enough, you've been bootstrapping this business all along, right?
For
All
3
of your
years.
operations have been, I mean, you are one of those rare web companies that actually have revenues from operations.
Well, yeah, that's, you know, and they say the Wall Street joke is we can hide that.
You can try. Patton, I know that you made quite an effort, really exercised Money Hunt rule number 27, shoot ducks when you're flying, to come in here and do this, because I know you're super busy back at the shop. Thanks for coming in. We're going to take a short break, be back with our partners meeting right after this.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome back to Money Hunt. It's time for our partners meeting. Let's flesh these plans out. Sherry from Rhyme and Reason, specialty knit children's apparel and accessories. A real unique design. I was very impressed with her design capability. 2, great customer base. She's been able to get her products in some wonderful stores with great names. But I didn't see this as a business that would be financed by venture capitalists. I think she was going down the right road before, where she had a partnership with somebody that was in the industry on the manufacturing side. I'd like to see her return to that strategy. I think that's where her upside lies. Let's move on to Pat and Abbe from Cabinet Parts. You know, I brought up the PETA factor several times. It is pain in the blank. And believe me, going out to source knobs for your kitchen or your bathroom has a huge PETA factor. He has an elegant solution to that. I think he's done a tremendous job. You know, one-arm paper hanger. He's doing this all himself, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him coming up, taking a break from being on his business to be on the show. As I said, shoot ducks when they're flying. I see him as building a bridge from the traditional retail to the internet. This is an acquisition waiting to happen.
I think I agree. He's got a narrow niche, but it's a large niche. He's already making money, which 90% of internet sites never do. He seems to have worked out the shipping and distribution factor, because as you know, Miles, when you want these things, you want instant gratification. You want to see what it looks like. You can see a photo on the web, but it's not the same as holding it in your hands, matching it up to your wood, and seeing exactly how the grain works and everything like that. He needs to work hard now to bring advertising and eyeballs to the site. He needs to beef up his management team, because once you've mastered cabinet hardware, where do you go from there?
He's a niche player. Like you gentlemen, I went through a kitchen renovation. I wish I knew about him this summer. The upside is just unbelievable, and to be able to sit at home, go through the web pages, I think it's a natural, and I absolutely think the sky is the limit.
He had a real challenge pulling together his business plan. It wasn't exactly long, but one of the places I would have liked for him to have spent some time is to go out and prove that you can find that marketing person or that business development person. He's got to develop an affiliate network that allows traffic to move to his site. That affiliate network will become a strategic advantage for him, and someone will pay dearly if he has it in place. Conversely, they won't pay dearly if he's just the top of search engines, because when search engines criteria change tomorrow, that name's going to go down in the mud.
Exactly. Exactly. And also, too, I mean, I think, you know, he's been a one-man band for so long, Miles. I mean, we got to admire he's done truly heroic efforts to build this site with just himself, but delegating to other people, building a management team, that's going to be kind of a new experience for a lone wolf like him. It's going to be interesting to see how he survives the adjustment.
He does mention profitability, but he is running on a shoestring, and one of the things about this in today's tight job market, looking for a chief marketing officer, business development person, someone that can handle affiliate relationships, that's not a small ticket. It's a very tight market. These people make an awful lot of money, especially with expertise in the internet space. So I would recommend certainly that he get that and use that resume to help him raise some capital. Our rules say, Bob, you got to pick one of them to help. Who's it going to be, Sherry from Rhyme and Reason or Patton from Cabinet Parts, and why?
The upside for Patton just appeals to me. I mean, the sky really is the limit. When you, like all of us, you know, I've been through the experience. It is a pain, and to make it easy, to have it happen, I just see, whether through an acquisition later on for him, and partnering, whatever, the upside is just so tremendous. I would say that niche is the one to mine.
Thanks, Bob. Let's go to Monica Wright backstage with our entrepreneurs.
Thanks, Miles. Thank you both for coming. Great presentations. Pat, you've won an hour of our mentor's time. Here's his business card.
Thank you, Monica.
Miles, back to you.
Thanks, Monica. Money Hunt's all about learning to be a better entrepreneur, and a big part of that process is our mentor. Bob, thanks for coming to Money Hunt.
My pleasure.
One last question before we get out of here. What's the greatest challenge entrepreneurs got to overcome?
Keeping the passion and the ability to change. The only constant in business, the only thing you can be sure of, is you're going to have to change as you grow and become more successful.
Some of the things that came from this whole show 11 years ago, we're still incorporating today. You know, obviously the world has evolved with Googles and all the good stuff that we use. I think that with the team that we put together here, we kind of kept to the core values of the dream of always being in the lead, always being a leader, and not, you know, looking over our shoulders. We pretty much do that, but we've really incorporated chat and Skype and, you know, YouTube and you know, all these things into our core values. And customer service is you know, like right up there. That's what we're all about, is customer service, because we're in such a technical world. Most of our customers don't know what they're looking for, so that's where we come in, and we put together a team that pretty good on that. But we have fun. We still have lots of fun on that. You know, we have dress up Fridays instead of casual Fridays because we're all pretty casual around here anyway, but we get the work done on that. So these are good. I look at the video and I go, they're pretty much the same person that I was 11 years ago. I still have the beard, and you know, a little older, a little paunchier, but anyway, I think it's good. So we were a .com that .did. How's that? That was our motto back then. When, as they said in the video, we were always making money. Somehow we always made money, and that's how we grew. We didn't do any venture capital, or we didn't do any of that. We were like an old business. We discussed that in those days, that there was no such thing as this new model, this new business model. It was business as usual. It was just a different medium for making money or for business, and we knew it. If you didn't make money, you're going to go out of business. All those guys did go out of business, and we're still here. So that was good. But we've definitely kept the core dream. It hasn't really changed at all. Going forward, always going forward, never not going forward, and you know, never being satisfied. Always looking for a better way to do things, more efficient. So one of the things that the website that you kind of saw in the video, or the early days, was all HTML, and now it's just kind of like elongated into all this different, you know, programs, PHP and stuff. I mean, it just, we modified, we probably have redone the website 5 times, completely done it over as we've changed to the dynamics, just to make it more user-friendly, more accessible, you know, because you know, people think that it's just it's an easy, you know, cost of doing a website is really negligible, but it's a business, and it's a live business. It's always progressing. It's always changing, constantly changing. So that's kind of good. But we have the team, and the team is always getting up on the latest technology or whatever to push it forward, and then we revise it, and we just go forward. And fortunately, we've made some really good decisions because of their input, and we've gone down the right path the first time as opposed to going down it the second time. So we can envision, because of videos and the technology we have today, that eventually, you know, like, everything will be self-explanatory. I mean, even in the simplest layman's terms. I mean, we have our little brainstorming meetings around here, and a lot of it is, you know, like, what is the future? And, you know, like, will we be able to talk to our computers and say, I have a hinge, and the computer will say, well, how big is the hole it goes in, or whatever. And I think that we'll see that.
With the integration of new technology that has been released into the market recently, and especially with iPads and the new iPhones and smartphones, how does Cabinet Parts see itself playing a role in that new development of technology?
You know, I look at the smartphones and the iPads and this whole evolutionary thing, and it's just, these people are calling in from their smartphone, and they're also doing they're on our website at the same time. It's really quite uncanny. So, you know, we in the process of writing apps to make that an easier interface between a small little phone technology and our technology. And I see, again, with the technology, the customer can just take a picture with their phone, and we're looking at it because we have all these things. So this whole thing is like running fast, and it's going to change in 4 years, even more so. The phones, you know, Jobs and the boys, they did a pretty good job coming up with some really nice technology. But it's just going to change even more. It's going to be we're not going to be typing and doing this stuff. It's going to be verbal and voice control all the way. One of the things that when they did the TV show, we had like 2 warehouses. The model was multiple warehouses, you know, with tongue in cheek, but we actually followed through on that, and now we ship from around the country from about 7 different warehouses and several manufacturers. That was kind of nice because that put us in a good position going forward to service our customer. If you live in Northern California, we can ship from Northern California. If you live in, you know, we call it the North Coast, Michigan, New York, anywhere up there in the Canadian border, who doesn't have access to, you know, distributors and stores, we can ship, and we can ship it from a local source. So that model really, really paid off for the customer. I think whether they were a retail customer, which we do plenty of, or the small trade guy who's our target audience, the small cabinet shop. We don't go for the big guys because it's another level on that. So we're like a service. And that has helped us against the competition for sure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun rewatching it, that's for sure, seeing how old I've gotten. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you get some inspiration from it, go for it. That's how we think about it around here.